Welcome to Continental Championship Wrestling, home of the National Wrestling Alliance, featuring champions from throughout the continental United States. And now to your host, world-renowned wrestling commentator, Gordon Soley.
Welcome to Continental Championship Wrestling. I'm Gordon Soley, your host, and we have a very unusual and I think very interesting program in store for you this week. For the next hour, we're going to be reviewing 1985 and all of the things that have happened in this past year. As you can see right now with the Boutwell Auditorium, the building is deserted. The ring at which I am seated right now is also deserted. But next week, I can assure you that the action will resume here at Boutwell Auditorium. Now, let's take a look at some of the things that we're going to be examining during the next hour. We're going to be taking a look at a gentleman who's had a host of problems, Bob Armstrong. We'll be checking out The Flame. We'll also be checking out Tommy and Johnny Rich, The Nightmares, The Exotic Adrian Street, Ron Fuller, Robert Fuller, and the great betrayal that took place not too terribly long ago. These and many more things will occur as we flash back into time during the next hour. But right now, let's take a look at Bob Armstrong. As you know, of course, he is no longer competing, but we will be talking to Bullet and to Bob Armstrong's three sons, and that, of course, Brad and Scott and Steve. We're going to try and find out what Bob Armstrong's plans for the future might be. All of this is upcoming during the next hour. I think you're going to find it most interesting. When we take a look at Bad to the Bone, featuring Bob Armstrong, then we'll move on to the set and we'll be talking to some other folks. So right now, let's go back and take a look at Bob Armstrong and Bad to the Bone.
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, "Leave this one alone." She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad, bad to the bone. I broke 1,000 hearts before I met you. I'll break 1,000 more, baby, before I am through. I want to be yours, pretty baby, yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad, bad, bad to the bone. Fire, fire to the bone.
Well, we just saw, of course, Bob Armstrong and the world champion Ric Flair. With me right now are the two men who are responsible for Bob Armstrong's leaving the sport of professional wrestling.
The proudest day of my life that I had a chance to put big Bob Armstrong, his 20-inch guns he talks about, I quietened his guns down a little while, didn't I?
Right there. First, I want to say, Gordon, the people at home there are getting to look at a little class. I don't know who else you'll have on the rest of the show, but you can tell here that the Fuller brothers have gone nothing but right to the top in this world, baby. In the wrestling world, we are #1. The luscious one here, your Continental Television champion, the Tennessee stud here, with not only a wrestling career that no one can top, but also my own stable of athletes now. I'm the greatest manager of all time and the greatest wrestler of all time. Now, you're going to be watching here. I can't wait to see this. We set you up, Bob Armstrong, and you should be out of professional wrestling. We're going to show exactly what you did to him. It was your idea, and it was a great idea.
In all the world.
Let's show it. Let's show it. We want to see it. Show that one.
Benedict Arnold's at their best.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Robert Fuller just pierced Bob Armstrong. Robert Fuller. Oh, this is... Boy, you talk about a Judas. You talk about a Benedict Arnold. 8-2 Brutus. Look at this man. Robert Fuller. This is absolutely deplorable. Completely deplorable. Bob Armstrong putting his faith and trust in Robert Fuller, and Robert Fuller, who has openly and completely rejected his brother Ron Fuller, is now joined Ron Fuller and his cousin, gorgeous Jimmy Golden, and Bob Armstrong is taking an awful beating now. It is a 3-on-1. They got him up for the pile. Oh, no! The three of them with a pile driver, and look at the stud. Look at this. Look, oh my. Well, words defy what we're seeing here. Words absolutely defy what we're seeing as Robert Fuller. What a Judas. Robert Fuller just pounding away at the man that he befriended, the man that he came in this ring with, the man that... Absolutely unbelievable. Just completely unbelievable. They have destroyed Bob Armstrong. They have decimated this man. And they are locked in that steel cage. There's no way. Wait a minute. The Armstrongs. The Armstrongs. Scott and Steve Armstrong trying to get into that ring. Trying to get inside that steel cage. Being battered back by gorgeous Jimmy Golden. Meanwhile, they continue to pummel and beat on Bob Armstrong. I have never seen anything like this before. In my career in professional wrestling, I have never seen such a betrayal. The Armstrongs trying desperately to get inside that ring, trying desperately to battle their way in, and Bob Armstrong laying there in a completely helpless condition. There's no telling how much damage they're liable to do. They're ringing the bell, and wait a minute. A roar going up in the crowd, and who is that approaching the ring? Let's see when he gets in camera view. That looks like Brad Armstrong. Brad Armstrong made it into the ring. Brad Armstrong has made it into the ring, and Brad Armstrong has gone berserk. Brad Armstrong has gone completely berserk in there. And now the other Armstrong, Scott and Steve Armstrong, making it in. The Tennessee stud bailing out. Robert Fuller and gorgeous Jimmy Golden. But their dirty work is done. Their dirty work is done. And now the Armstrongs huddled around their fallen father. And this is absolutely despicable.
Well, of course, Jimmy Golden is no longer wrestling.
Yeah, and he should be wrestling. Now, I want to show that other piece of video right now. I want to show Bob Armstrong should have been out of the area. He lost a Continental Championship match in which he was supposed to leave the entire continental United States. It was a contract that he signed that he would leave. You saw what happened to him. He was beat. He was out of wrestling for 6 weeks almost because of the injury. And now look what he's got this figure 4. That's Bob Armstrong.
No, that's not. Bullet.
That's the bullet. Heck, that's Bob Armstrong. It's obvious to me. It should be obvious to everyone that is Bob Armstrong. Right, Robert?
I've seen him mash that Holt. I felt it on my leg the same way, Gordon. He's not fooling anybody. That man that's got that Holt on Jimmy Golden right there is Bob Armstrong. He's trying to break his leg. There's no doubt about it. And break his leg, he did get done.
There are 2 bullets.
Well, of course, I will say one thing. Jimmy Golden, of course, is currently out of professional wrestling, but I still contend, gentlemen, until such times that mask comes off and you prove it's Bob Armstrong, it's the Bullet.
It is Bob Armstrong, and he has no business being in the Continental area nor wrestling in the United States of America because he signed a contract that he would not be. Now, I'll tell you this, Bob Armstrong, you're going to be gone, Bullet, or whatever you want to call yourself, because me and my stable are going to see to it.
Well, I talked earlier to the Bullet and his entourage at ringside. Let's go to that interview. Joining me here at this deserted ring now are the Bullet, Brad Armstrong, Scott Armstrong, and Steve Armstrong. And Bullet, of course, I know you've been a lifetime friend of Bob Armstrong's, and it was through you that the Stud's been out of action.
That's right. You know, Bob Armstrong's been through an awful lot because the Tennessee Stud the last couple of years has tried everything he could to put Bob Armstrong out of action. And finally, he did just that. But there's an old saying, you can't keep a good man down. And when Bob Armstrong found out he couldn't come back, he called the next best thing the Bullet, and I've been taking care of business.
We have indeed. There's no question about that. And so have Brad and Scott and Steve. But right now, let's take a look at the last night of wrestling for the Tennessee Stud.
And he is not relinquishing. The referee calling for the bell. It's all over. It is all over. But he is not relinquishing. The Bullet hanging on to that figure 4. The Tennessee Stud writhing in pain. That knee has got to be in tremendous trouble. The ankle in trouble. They continue to ring the bell. They continue to ring the bell. And the Bullet is not relinquishing that hold. The referee in desperation now. And he's now warning the Bullet. And the Stud still writhing in agony. He finally has them separated. He finally has them separated.
Seconds, the ball and the match go to the Bullet.
Well, Bullet, you put Jimmy Golden out of action as well, and then not too long after that, you trashed the Flame.
Well, you know, what people won't see on this is before they see this trash can wrapped around the Flame's head is they set a trap for the Bullet. They tried to get this mask off and prove Bob Armstrong standing behind this mask, but until they do, I am the Bullet. And Flame, you tried it, the trap failed, it backfired on you, you paid the price, and I made a helmet out of a galvanized steel trash can on your head.
Flame doing something to that mask, obviously. The Flame doing something to that mask. Being warned by the referee. And now the referee knocked to one side. Wow! One, three. A 1, 2, 3. And as far as I'm concerned, we have a brand new Continental champion.
Say what you will about the Flame, though, he attempted to rectify that trashing.
That's right. He didn't like that galvanized steel helmet too well, and he came back later and he tried to burn the Bullet. And he almost did. You know, thank goodness for this mask, Gordon, because the mask protected the face, and this face has been down enough dirty roads already. It don't need no more harm done to it. But one thing about it, I came out, thank goodness the fire didn't hurt me, and by golly, the Bullet is still long and strong.
The Flame resolutely approaching the ring. Ooh! The Flame living up to his name, hurtling a fireball across the ring, and it's the Flame after the mask of the Bullet. Wait a minute, Roberto Soto just charged in there. Roberto Soto catching the Flame and catches Robert Fuller. Brad Armstrong outside the ring, and now it's the Bullet pounding out a tattoo on the Flame, and it's the Bullet after the mask of the Flame. The Bullet after the mask of the Flame. The referee, Roy George, hurdled to one side, and the Bullet after the mask of the Flame. Trying to rip that mask off the Flame. And he's got it partially off. He's got it partially away from the face. The Bullet trying to rip that mask off the face of the Flame. He's got the mask. He's got the mask.
Well, I'd like to welcome WATE Channel 6 in Knoxville, along with our ever-growing list of stations on the Continental Championship Wrestling Network. And, Bullet, I know that you and Steve and Scott and Brad have a Christmas wish for everyone.
That's right. Bullet and the boys want to wish everybody out there the merriest Christmas you ever had, and we're looking for some kicks in '86.
It's all going to happen upcoming next year. There's no question about it, and plenty of action back here at Boutwell Auditorium next week. Right now, though, let's let the stations make a little money. Wrestling returns to Mobile, Alabama, the Fort Whiting Armory on Friday, January 3rd. Match time is 8 p.m. In a World Heavyweight Championship match, Tommy Wildfire Rich challenges the champion, Ric Flair. In a $10,000 bounty match, it'll be the Bullet against the Flame. The Continental Championship, Roberto Soto against Boomer H. Lynch. The TV Championship, Robert Fuller against Brad Armstrong. In a challenge match, Norville Austin against the exotic Adrian Street. There will be 2 other matches in Mobile. Let's take a moment now to talk about wrestling in Mobile, Alabama at the Fort Whiting Armory, and that'll be Friday, January 3rd. Friday, January 3rd. We'd also like to remind you, wrestling in Crestview at the National Guard Armory on January 2nd. But the most important thing to talk about right now, of course, is Roberto Soto defending the Continental Championship against Boomer Lynch.
You know, Gordon Soley, this is going to be a rough match because I know the man is a hell of a good wrestler, and he's bigger than I am. He probably has more experience than I am, but the bigger they are, the harder the fall. So, Boomer, if you want this, you're going to have to come and get it.
$10,000 bounty, you and the Flame.
Like, that's a lot of money, brother. I think as big as the Flame is, I can get $10,000 out of his hide because you sure ain't going to get this mask.
And the TV title, Robert Fuller.
That's exactly right. Something I'm looking forward to. Ric Flair's on the card. World Heavyweight title. That's what I'm after. And to win that title, to get a chance at it, you got to be a champion.
Friday night, January 3rd, is a big night for all of us, Robert. They didn't let you pick your opponent for the TV championship, but you got Brad, and that's just as good as the Exterminator.
That's right. Ric Flair's on the card, and I wound up with a guy like Brad Armstrong. Brad Armstrong, I made a promise I'd be wiping you out in the ways of your daddy, and I'm going to do it, boy.
And you going to get me a Continental title from Roberto Soto, and you got $10,000 if you can get that.
You got it coming, $10,000. Big party coming.
And the night will be climaxed, of course, with a World Heavyweight Championship match. Former champion Tommy Wildfire Rich going up against Nature Boy Ric Flair. The belt that I have in my hand right now is the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship belt. It's the only pink championship belt known of in existence at this particular time. And the gentleman who owns this belt at this particular time is the exotic Adrian Street. In the amateur ranks, he was a world middleweight wrestling champion. Right now, we're going to take a look at a very, very special segment on the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, the exotic Adrian Street. Whenever you see the exotic Adrian Street, Miss Linda is sure to be. And a lot of people have accused Miss Linda of interfering in matches. However, Miss Candy Devine one evening started to put a stop to that.
She's, what is she, a protege of that Gollywog and that Giant Maxine?
Yes.
Yeah, she did. I mean, Miss Linda, well, she is an American, so what do you expect? I mean, Miss Linda is very well bred, very well brought up. She would never dream of interfering in a match. But then it's the sort of thing I get to expect from Americans, you know? They never keep their nose out of, they never keep their noses out of world affairs. They don't keep their nose out of my business either. But I will teach them.
Well, I'll tell you what let's do. Right now, let's take a look at the incident that happened when Candy Devine did come down to the ring.
Miss Linda, very obviously interfering in the match. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody else has just entered the ring. And that is very definitely... Wow. I was about to say a lady... Listen to the crowd go absolutely berserk. This crowd is going absolutely wild. And whoever this woman is, she is giving Miss Linda her comeuppance. she has exploded all over the ring. Brother, you talk about something happening.
Well, it was just 1 week later that Candy Devine joined Norville Austin in a mixed tag team match against you and Miss Linda. And I must say, Mr. Street, you did the most reprehensible act I've ever seen in wrestling.
Reprehensible? I thought it was wonderful. That's exactly the way you American men should treat your women. Put them in their place.
Well, he did that for sure.
Oh, did you see that? Norville Austin has Miss Linda, but look at Street has Candy Devine. Street bringing Candy Devine up. Oh! A pile driver. Oh, brother. Well, I have just lost whatever respect I had for the exotic Adrian Street. I have just lost it. I suppose it falls within the legal parameters. For the word, however, let's turn it over. We've got a hurt young lady here. We have an injured young lady in Candy Devine.
Well, Candy Devine and Norville Austin are coming back.
I've heard all that before, Gordon. Coming back, coming back. There's lots of people that said they're coming back, but where are they? If she comes back, well, all I've got to say is I'll put it down to two things. Lack of brain power, which I suppose accounts for one thing, being American, and another one being a female.
Points made by the exotic Adrian Street regarding Candy Devine and Norville Austin. Now, through the magic of video, we're going to jump to the set. Norville Austin has joined me.
Right on, Gordon. First of all, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and I'm just glad to be here with you.
I'll tell you what, it's a pleasure to have Norville Austin with us. Let me tell you something else. It was not too terribly long ago that Norville came to this very set and introduced a segment on the exotic Adrian Street. And, well, it got some wild results.
Right on. I kind of like that, Gordon. I really got a kick out of it.
And I understand, too, Candy Devine is back in action.
Right on. She'll be back, and she's eager to get back at Adrian Street for what he did to her.
Fair enough. Now, let's go back and take a look at that segment. Norville is a man of many talents and quite a few surprises. And here he comes now. Let's welcome him, if you will, my good friend Norville Austin.
What's going on, my man, Mr. Soley? You know, I got stars of the NWA myself, and I'd like for you to show a little film clip that I got, if you don't mind rolling it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to come as quite a surprise to everybody. Sort of a variation of Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
You got it.
All right, let's take a look right now at this very special Stars of the NWA, brought to us by Norville Austin. I got to tell you something.
Did I tell you, Gordon?
Yeah, you did.
I tell you, that was some kind of funky, and I love it. You know what it means?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's the first time we had seen the, well, complete side, if you will, of one exotic Adrian Street.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Whoops, wait a minute. What do we got here? Well, looks like
dare you? How dare you? Who gave you permission to do that? Who gave you permission? Because I've got to...
Wait a second here. Wait just a minute. Hold on. No, wait. Wait a minute, gentlemen. Break it up. Break it up here. Whoa. Hey, enough is enough.
Well, like you said, of course, Candy Devine is back in action.
Right on. She's eager to be back, just like I said, Gordon, and she's going to get the job done. But if she don't get the job done, I got another lady waiting in the wings by the name of Mad Maxine, Lady Maxine.
Fair enough, and we'll be right back.
Norville Austin and Candy Devine take on the exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda. It'll be Roy Lee Welch against Roberto Soto, Sunday the 29th in Pensacola. Continental Wrestling returns to Pensacola at the Auditorium Sunday night, December 29th. Match time as 8 p.m., and it will be Brad Armstrong, Scott and Steve Armstrong against luscious Robert Fuller, Boomer H. Lynch, and a mystery partner.
They say 'tis the season to be jolly, and the Armstrongs are back together right here in Pensacola, and mighty proud to be a part of this big card. You know, like you said, it's a big six-man tag. Got my favorite partners in the world. We was all the way live in 85, and we're getting our kicks in 86.
All right, in a mixed tag team match, Norville Austin and Candy Devine against the exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda.
Right on, Gordon. I got a message for you, Adrian Street. You're going to get your hiney whooped real good right there in Pensacola, because Candy Devine coming here to take care of business.
Pensacola, Sunday the 29th. Do you know, it's almost hard to believe that even an American female would be so stupid as to come back for second helpings after they've been dropped on their head. Just a little repeat, and maybe a little bit harder.
You know something, Bob Armstrong? I promised the stud that I'd take your mask off, and I will take your mask off. I will run you out of town, and there's gonna be flames licking at your hind end all the way out of town.
It's going to happen in Pensacola at the Auditorium on December 29th. That's Sunday. And don't forget, wrestling coming to Crestview January 2nd. Right now, I think we have a very interesting series of matches coming up for you. First of all, we're going to be watching the sensational Puerto Rican Continental Heavyweight Champion Roberto Soto in action. Then we're going to be seeing the new Continental TV Champion, Robert Fuller. Following that, we'll be looking at the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, Roy Lee Welch. You'll be seeing these in sequence, and let's go to those three great matches upcoming right now.
Caught him a good right hand. Soto retaliates with a left. Soto, southpaw, doing extremely well with that left hand. High drop kick. And that literally, well, not literally, I take that back. Almost ripped the top of his head off. Good block by Clark. Good block by Clark as Soto went for a head scissors. Clark ducked down, blocked. Ooh! Caught him again. Got a count of three. Got a count of three. Staying within the parameters of the rules and regulations. However, now going after the mask once again. Fuller seems a little more intent on removing the mask than he does in... and he's got that mask almost all the way off. The executioner slips away, covering his head, trying to get away, and it's impossible to get a clear look at his face. But apparently is leaving the ring. And Fuller after him again, jams him into the steel ring post. Ash confident that he's won it, no question about this. And it does not look good for Roy Lee Welch as he brings him up. Sets him for a full body slam. No, jams him into the turnbuckle. And Roy Lee, beautiful reverse suplex. He got it. He got it. Roy Lee Welch got the pinfall. Professor Bill Ash is banned. Professor Bill Ash loses the match. He must leave town. So the winner is indeed Roy Lee Welch. For the official word, here's our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the time of 6 minutes and 54 seconds, the winner of this match, Roy Lee Welch. Bill Ash must leave Birmingham.
Burns all over my body and flame. I put a galvanized steel trash can over your head. I should have put your whole body in it, but there wasn't room. But in Pensacola on the 29th, somebody's going to leave. Geigel's already said one of us has got to go. Why not settle it right there in Pensacola? I'm going to beat you in every continental city, and I'm going to start right there in Pensacola. You're gone.
Well, let's see what the Flame has to say about this.
Flame got a lot to say. He's already said it, and he's going to show you on Friday. On Sunday night, the 29th, will be your last night in Pensacola. And then the three boys, and I got my mystery man. I can't hardly wait. It's Christmas time. I want to give them the surprise, but they're going to have to wait till Sunday, the 29th, because you boys are going to take care of them Armstrong pumps. Yeah!
My friend, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losing, 'cause we are the champions of the world.
Well, the Nightmares are with me right now, and obviously they look much different than they did when we just saw them.
Well, you know, that is right. We do look different, but there's one thing that we have now. We still have the titles. We don't have our mask, but we still have the titles. And, you know, there's been a lot of humiliation going around, right? You know, us humiliating the Riches, Riches humiliating us, but we want to show you where we humiliated the Riches when we whipped that Tommy Rich.
In one of our finer moments.
Let's take a look at it right now.
To further humiliate and to whip. There's 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Total humiliation. Calmly, deliberately. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, he's supposed to stop at 10. And he's just continuing to whip him now. He just continued to whip him, and Johnny Wildfire Rich, Johnny Crash Rich jumping into that ring. Well, they exacted their pound of flesh. They exacted their pound of flesh. And Tommy Wildfire Rich completely humiliated, and the Nightmares got in several cheap shots.
Well, all right, that was humiliating on Tommy Wildfire Rich, but what I want to know is which one of you was in the chicken suit?
Oh, well, you trying to get knocked out now or what? That's true. You know, we had to wear a chicken suit out. And, well, you know, what I want to know is who had the last laugh? Who left the ring with their hands in the air? Who left the ring with the belts? Tell me that, will you?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at whichever the one of these two was that came out.
Well, you ain't supposed to show that. What are you doing? Don't show that.
Well, gentlemen, the ultimate challenge.
That's right, ultimate challenge. You know, you want to be a smart aleck, we got something for you, baby. You want to be a smart aleck? Well, you know, all the talking's done. It's all over. Everybody's trying to humiliate one another. Well, you know, we got this beautiful hair, you know. We took off those masks, and we've been flooded with thousands of phone calls, thousands of letters saying, why did you wear them? Well, you know, it's all come down to Boutwell Auditorium. Christmas night. The biggest Christmas present we can give the Riches. And I'll tell you why. Partner, we are perfect. We are experts with them, baby. And we
Wait just a minute, man. That's my time. Oh, come on now. What the?
Humiliation. Come on, Riches. How do you like it? You want to be a smart aleck?
Well, I'll tell you what. Tommy and Johnny Rich have joined me at ringside, and, of course, they've made the Nightmares pay some dues. But, gentlemen, it wasn't too long ago you all paid a few dues as well.
You know, first of all, Gordon, you know, I wish all the people out there from Johnny me a very Merry Christmas, and thank them for all the cards and stuff they sent us. You know, it's really nice. And but like you said, the Nightmares, I mean, getting back to business, we've done a bunch of things to them. But I guess the last thing they did to us, you know, that's one for them. So they, you know, they want to go for it, then we're going to go for it against them.
I'll tell you what, let's take a look at what happened when the Nightmares got pretty handy with a pair of scissors.
Johnny Rich trying gamely to get back into that ring. He's back in. Johnny Rich off to one side, the Nightmare off to one side. Johnny Rich caught. Now it's Tommy Wildfire Rich outside the ring. Tommy Rich gets the pinfall.
Go to the Richie.
What a battle. This Texas death match. Remember again, this is a Texas death match in case you tuned in late. Balls do not count. The match continues. Tommy Rich caught him with an atomic knee drop. Tommy Rich punishing the Nightmare again. Johnny Rich catches him with the back of the elbow. Tag is made. Tommy Wildfire Rich is in the ring. He explodes with a pair of right hands. Another right hand. Base of the elbow now to the head, and now a series of hard right hands. Johnny Crash Rich in there. The one Nightmare hurtled outside the ring. Beautiful double teaming Texas death match. Anything goes. Nightmare's caught, coming back. Count of three. Count of three.
Ball, go to the Richie.
Johnny Rich ducks a hard right hand, and Johnny Crash Rich now pounding away, but caught from behind by the Nightmare. Has him up for the pile driver. And the second Nightmare using his body as a battering ram. Crashes into it now. It is Nightmare caught him with a knee lift that time. And wait a minute. What's he got here? It's like a handcuff. It is indeed a handcuff. Tommy Rich handcuffed. One arm handcuffed to the ring. And Rich in trouble. And wait a minute. They've got a scissors. They've got a scissors. Wait a second here. They're cutting the hair of Tommy Rich. They've cut the hair of Tommy Rich. Rich paddling away with only his right hand. The referee knocked to one side. Rich in trouble, and they've got him trapped again. And again, they've got that scissors out. And they're cutting even more hair from Tommy Rich. Johnny Rich moving back in.
Well, of course, with that insult and that kind of humiliation, then the challenges really began to fly, hair versus hair.
Well, Gordon, you know, whenever Tommy said if they touch one of our hairs, if they cut one hair off our head, they would end up bald-headed. He meant that when he said that. We don't say nothing without meaning it, and we meant that, and we're going to do it. We're going to give it a Christmas present to all you people in Birmingham.
Tell you what, it wasn't too long ago that these two fellows were at a barber shop getting some expert advice about cutting hair. Well, let's take a listen to that interview right now.
You know something, Nightmares? You've done a lot of things to us. Well, we're down here today getting something straightened out that the last thing you've done to us. And we're getting sick and tired of it. We're getting sick and tired of seeing your faces. The short time we've seen those faces, if you call them faces. And we're about to get sick and tired of that, and we're going to do something about it. We're going to get rid of you. We're going to humiliate you so bad when we get you in the ring Christmas night. We're going to beat you first in the ring, and then this lady's going to come down there. She's going to be ringside, and she's going to shave your heads bald. And then I don't think you'll have the guts to stay right here in Birmingham again. I think you'll leave.
You know what it amounts to, Nightmares, and I'm not screaming and hollering. I know I do it a lot of times because I stay fired up. But Christmas Day night, you better be ready for one of the doggonest fights you ever been in your life. You know, Miss Wright, you know, you just did half the job. You didn't get all of my hair shaved off, which you was trying to do. And right there in Birmingham, Alabama, this nice lady right here, she's going to be down there, and she's going to have the shears to shave one of y'all's head, because I'm going to make a promise to Miss Wright and all these people right here in Birmingham, Alabama. Y'all cut my hair in Birmingham. We wanted the match to take place right here for the people in Birmingham. You tried to do the job. You didn't get it done. Christmas Day night, I want everybody to come down, because Johnny and Tommy Rich is going to give the fans a treat, a Christmas present that they ain't never seen before. Because what it comes down to, the NWA said the loser of the fall has to sit down and let Miss Wright shave their head right in the middle of the ring. Christmas Day night. Nightmares, you're going to be our Christmas Day present night to all the people out there in Birmingham.
Well, that's it, of course, and it's going to take place in Birmingham Christmas Day night.
Yes, sir. You know, Gordon, we can't wait for that, you know, and want to tell all the people out there something, too, because, we promised all the people right here in Birmingham, because this is one of the biggest matches Johnny and myself's ever been in our life, because we want to cut one of them Nightmares' hair. So, the end of the year holds a lot in store for Johnny and myself, but then at the first of the year, we've got title shots all around the country, and we're looking forward to that. And plus, we want all them fans to come down, because the promise we made to the people in Birmingham holds in store for all the people around the country, because they'll see a bald-headed Nightmare.
All right, so no matter whether you live in Dothan or Florence or Pensacola or Mobile or Montgomery, be sure to come out when you see the Riches defending those titles against the Nightmares.
Onion heads. We'll start calling them onion heads.
January 3rd, match time is 8 p.m. In a World Heavyweight Championship match, Tommy Wildfire Rich challenges the champion, Ric Flair. In a $10,000 bounty match, it'll be the Bullet against the Flame. The Continental Championship, Roberto Soto against Boomer H. Lynch. The TV Championship, Robert Fuller against Brad Armstrong. In a challenge match, Norville Austin against the exotic Adrian Street. There will be 2 other matches in Mobile. Only a $1 increase in price for the matches in Mobile on Friday, January 3rd, 1986. And what a start for the year. You've got one of the Nightmares.
That's right, Gordon. You know, we got a treat for you fans coming down there on Friday, January the 3rd. You come on down there, because one of the Nightmares are going to be bald. We told them if they cut one hair off our head, they'd come out bald, and they're going to be bald.
What a way to start the new year as the new World Heavyweight Champion.
Gordon, you know, 86 I thought was going to be my year, and I hope this is a good sign. Right there Friday night, Mobile, Alabama. You know, Ric Flair, you talk about the hillbillies and how pretty and good looking you are, but I want you to bring that World Heavyweight title right down to Mobile, Alabama Friday night, because you're going to be in for one of the doggonest fights you ever been in your life.
And right now we've got some other opinions.
Friday, January 3rd, Fort Whiting Armory in Mobile. You will see the heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy Ric Flair, come against the challenge of Wildfire Tommy Rich.
What you will see is the consummate athlete in the world today. Woo, custom made from head to toe. Mobile, I'm the kind of man that'll spoil you, you understand? You're not used to class, and you sure as hell are starved for the sights of a real man. Well, I'm going to get off that jet, and I'm going to walk in that building. I'm going to turn you all on. And Tommy Rich, it's just too bad, brother, that January 3rd, you got to be, woo, mine in Mobile, Alabama. Woo!
Well, we sincerely hope that you've enjoyed the highlights of 1985. Obviously, we couldn't bring you every bit of action that happened, but we think we brought you as much as we could for the 60-minute time period. Now, next week, here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Boutwell Auditorium is going to be booming. I can assure you of that, because as we televise, you're going to see the Flame and the Bullet, mask versus mask. That match is upcoming, and one man is definitely going to be unmasked. Also, we'll be seeing Roberto Soto going up against Robert Fuller. And I'll tell you this much, it's going to be the greatest 1986 you've ever seen in professional wrestling. And on behalf of myself and all of the members of Continental Championship Wrestling and, of course, of our entire production crew, may I take this opportunity right now to wish each and every one of you a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to kind of close us out for this program, just before we head into the new year, let's take a look at some of the great slow-mo action in our slow-mo action number 2.